So unless you've been living under a rock or you're terminally online like I am, you've probably seen that GTA 6 has experienced even more leaks. If you remember back in 2022, there was a leak of what was very early, very raw footage of the game. And this one appears to be from a build that is much more recent. We don't know exactly when, but it looks like it's at least from the last year or two. And there have been a few clips, and each one has been more intriguing than the last. And the guy leaking it calls himself CyberLeak, or he might be a group. We're not sure. But at this time, it is getting a lot of attention online. Don't know if it's broken containment yet from online spheres and into the, I guess, normie space, if you want to call it. But that may change depending on what is revealed exactly as far as gameplay or even potentially story spoilers. Now, the first clip shows one of the protagonists, Jason, at what appears to be his house, and he picks up a basketball and he starts shooting through a hoop. And when he makes one, he increases a stat called Focus. Now, not sure what this does exactly. It probably increases his accuracy, or if there's some bullet time mechanic like Michael had in the fifth game. Not sure, but it seems to be bringing back one of the features from previous games where certain activities will increase certain stats. And then the second clip shows Jason in a car driving around, crashing into a delivery truck, and the truck driver gets pissed off, gets out, starts yelling at Jason. He gets out of the car as well, and then starts wailing on the truck driver and beating the shit out of him and killing him, stealing his money. And you can also see when Jason hovers over the truck driver's body, there's an option to pick up his body. So I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of mechanic where you can hide bodies to try to sneak around in a place you don't want to be detected at. The third clip shows Jason driving into a river, swimming out, going under an overpass, and then stabbing some hobos with a knife. And he even backhands one. And the animation looks really similar to the animation we see, and I think it was the second trailer. So that just shows that a lot of that was probably what we saw in those trailers was probably in game, but taken from sort of a cinematic camera angle. And you also got a glimpse of the weapon wield, and the UI looks very bare bones. Nothing special to it. It's probably a placeholder, just further suggesting that this is an unfinished build. And we also get a glimpse at what appears to be an item tab, very similar to what we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. And there was a item, looked like a healing item called Zombix, I believe it was. And the item description says that if you take it over and over again, it has diminishing returns. So it's probably some sort of drug that you can build a tolerance to eventually, and overuse will eventually lead to not having much effect. The fourth leak clip shows Jason again, and he's walking up to a parking lot of some business where it's obviously private because there are security guards hanging around. And after a while, they get pissed off at Jason and tell him to leave. And guy playing just starts attacking him. And the guards actually have tasers that they use, and Jason picks him one up and starts using it, and you can start seeing the guard jittering and stuff. So pretty funny and pretty realistic. The physics work. And one thing that's stuck out at me in this clip is just how dark it was at nighttime. That's something that some games don't seem to quite capture too well. It's sometimes dark is too light, which kind of understandable. You want players to be able to see, but I always appreciate it when it actually looks like it's nighttime. And seeing more of the movement and the action, this game is obviously very heavily inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2, which is very natural since that was the previous Rockstar title. But personally, I hope the movement in GTA 6 doesn't feel as heavy or weighty as Red Dead Redemption 2 did. If it does, it's fine, but I kind of want GTA to, be a little faster, if you will, be not floatier, but a little more free. And the most interesting thing, though, about this clip, though, is that it ends with a cutscene taken out of the game of the protagonist Jason and his buddy Cal, the big guy with a beard, on a boat. And Jason says, and I'm paraphrasing, that I can't wait till they put you away. Something like that to Cal. In which Cal responds, "They don't know nothing about me, man. I use a VPN." Now, this is obviously a dig at Rockstar, and it was the first red flag that we're dealing with a guy that has a copy of the game, or at least a sizable chunk of the game and whatever build he's using. So that was really, really eye-opening. Now, the most recent clip released was of a crop duster flying over the map, and you can see a ton of stuff all around. I think you can see the prison, you can see the city, you can see the keys, you can see mountains in the distance. I can't remember the name of the mountains, but the draw distance and the level in detail was pretty incredible. This was actually one of the first thing, and not the first thing of this game that kind of blew me away, because trailers and screenshots are one thing, but seeing actual in-game engine and how everything is rendered and excruciating detail, and the clouds, they got the same volumetric clouds as in Red Dead 2. They look as good. And the size of the city and the map in general is just staggering. It's unreal. And supposedly the map has also been leaked, and internet sleuthers are already piecing together locations that we've seen in previous leaks and the current ones rolling out as we speak, and confirming that, yeah, this is here, that's there, and that the map that's been leaked is probably pretty legit. And also in the same clip, he pulls up the radio menu, and you can see new stations and the return of some old ones that I recognize, V-Rock and Emotion. They were in GTA Vice City, so that's cool to see them return. Those are probably two of my most played stations back then, I'd say. Now, the last few seconds are what has set the internet on fire today, because the clip ends with Jason shooting the word leak into a wall, Leek, which is part of the leaker's name. And that seems to be undisputable proof that he has a copy of the game or a build, or he recorded himself playing at one time. So we don't know how much of it he has, whether it's just early portions of the game or much more of the game, because in all of these clips, Jason, the character, has no money or very little money, and he's wearing the same clothes, and we haven't seen any of Lucia. And it's been, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it's pretty widely believed that you don't gain Lucia until later on in the game when she gets released from prison. So that's leading people to believe that he may just have a very, very early part of the game that he's playing. But this shows that he has some control, or he did at one point. Control over the character, I mean, of course. But regardless of how he got the game, I guarantee you Rockstar are doing whatever they can to track this guy down. And unless he's in some country like Russia or China or North Korea that's not very friendly with the US, or if he's anywhere in the first world, he's going to get found out. And he's going to go away for a long time if they don't bury him under the prison. But he may be preparing for that. Who knows? He may have some sort of like dead man switch that'll trigger if something happens to him and it releases more gameplay or story spoilers, or hell, even the bit of the game that he's got. Who knows? Another thing these clips have in common is they all have a watermark on them of some kind with a QR code and a website link, and seem to be advertising some sort of cryptocurrency that's associated with this Cyber League group. And there's also been some accounts that have popped up on social media like X and Discord. Now, in one of the leaks, I think it says that Cyber League doesn't have a Twitter or Discord, but regardless, he's obviously doing this for his own personal gain. There's no doubt about that. In fact, if we go over to his website here, we can see what his entire shtick is about, and you can see he's got mirror links to all of his clips. I'm not clicking on any of those. But down here also, there is a poll. Now, this went up yesterday, and I'm not sure how long it went on, if it was I think it was 24 hours, but it ended way early this morning. I don't know if that's Eastern time or what Pacific time, who knows, but he took a poll asking people what they wanted to see next. Car date in the daytime, car nighttime, motorcycle nighttime, or plane daytime. And without a shock, no surprise, plane won. And just given what we saw in the plane clip, I'm not surprised. It was actually pretty awesome. But yeah, down here, if you can see, you can only vote if you pay him. And if you buy his own cryptocurrency, and you got to pay using his own cryptocurrency. So if you've done this, I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money or how not spend their money. But if you did this, if you bought what essentially is a meme coin to submit a vote in a poll to watch leaks of a game that's, we're going to see be more of in a week here, and it's coming out in a few months, then you're a fucking moron. There's just no sugarcoating it. I'm sorry. And if we go here and go to the About page, they got a manifesto as well. The Cyber League Edict. Cyber League was born in the networks. It has seen what gaming can be at its best, and has watched what the industry did to it. Slowly, methodically, one monetization scheme at a time. God, that's rich, isn't it? Coming from these assholes. Publishers sell licenses and call them purchases. They ship unfinished games and call them living services. They lock content on disk and call it DLC. Okay, that's all true, but it's extremely hypocritical given these guys are just using this to run a crypto scam. So they're trying to paint themselves up as these crusaders when they're not. They're not doing it for the benefit of anybody but themselves. And they got these commandments too, which is extremely cringe. And you can go on here yourself and read these. But basically, they're almost giving Rockstar or any other developer or publishers an ultimatum saying, hey, treat your customers better or you'll be next. We'll attack you next, and we'll leak footage of your game next too. And that's just going to make the industry come down even harder on these guys. And the fact that, like I said, they're just spinning this as a way to gain a personal profit and just basically do a pump and dump of this meme coin. It's not going to, it's not going to ingratiate yourself in the greater gaming community. I know Stop Killing Games has come out and disavowed Cyber League's actions, saying that they're not a part of it and they don't think it's good for publisher and customer relations, and it's not building trust within the community or something like that, which understandable. They got a tough enough road ahead of themselves. But I just think this is so hilarious that Rockstar has always done everything by their terms as far as what they release, what they show the customers. And a lot of people have been asking for more gameplay of GTA 6, understandably. And it's just hilarious that this is the way it comes out about a week ahead of their exclusive deal with Netflix to show an extended look at it. And don't get me wrong, I don't think this has hurt GTA 6 sales at all. I think it's still going to sell the most copies of any game probably from the past decade. It's going to break records. There's no doubt about it. But I also guarantee that Rockstar didn't want it to happen this way. And they're going to be tightening the screws and trying whatever they can to track down this group, because as far as we know, this isn't over. There could be more leaks dropping. We haven't heard anything more. Neither Take-Two nor Rockstar have made a statement. And I seriously doubt they're going to drop the trailer early because they got to deal with Netflix. So, they can't back out on that. Ink's been dry on that for a long time. So it's pretty interesting stuff, to say the least. And I wanted to get to it because I won't be here long, but yeah, it's still ongoing. And if there's more of it, I will definitely let y'all know. But thanks for watching. If you like it, leave a like. If not, thanks for your time, and y'all take care.